There's something surreal about watching your neighbor punch your boyfriend in the face while screaming that he's been sleeping with his wife. I remember the sound more than anything. Flesh hitting flesh, a scream, my name being yelled, and the moment my entire life cracked open. Because apparently I wasn't the only woman in his bed. Not even close. If you've ever ignored red flags because someone made you feel chosen, if you've ever trusted someone who smiled in your face while betraying you behind your back, buckle up. This story starts with heartbreak and ends with one of the most satisfying revenge detonations you'll ever hear. Hit like, subscribe, and let's get into it. This happened years ago. At the time, I was in my early 30s, freshly divorced from an abusive marriage. And when I say abusive, I mean the kind that rewires your brain, the kind that makes you question your worth, the kind that leaves you craving safety more than passion. I was fragile. I didn't look fragile. I functioned. I worked. I smiled. But inside, I felt like cracked glass being held together with duct tape. Then he messaged me. We had gone to the same school as kids. Apparently, he remembered me. I didn't remember him. But when I looked him up, oh my God. The skinny, awkward boy from the yearbook had turned into a tattooed, muscular, jawline carved by the gods bodybuilder. He looked like the kind of man women stare at in grocery stores. And he was interested in me. After years of being belittled by my ex-husband, being chosen by someone like him felt intoxicating. He was sweet, protective, soft-spoken. He told me I was strong. He told me I deserved better. He made me feel safe. And when you've been drowning, you don't question the life raft. You cling to it. It was long distance at first. Video calls, late-night texts, future planning. He told me he'd never felt a connection like this before. Within weeks, he moved across the country to live with me. Yeah, I know. But when you're in love, or think you are, logic gets real quiet. A couple months later, we were settling into our new place, fixing it up, building routines, playing house. That's when the neighbors introduced themselves. 2 doors down, Bea and Rob. They were around our age, warm, friendly, that easy kind of comfortable couple that makes you think, we could be like them. The 4 of us clicked instantly. Game nights, shared dinners, grocery splitting, wine nights on the patio. We had keys to each other's homes. We'd knock without texting first. Bea became my best friend. We talked about everything. Men, marriage, insecurities, dreams. I stood at her wedding and cried tears of joy when she said I do to Rob. I remember squeezing her hands at the altar, thinking how lucky I was to have found this little community after everything I'd survived. It felt wholesome. It felt safe. It felt like healing. Looking back now, it was a beautifully staged illusion. I'll never forget that night. I was on the couch, my boyfriend was in the kitchen window had a direct view of the front door. Suddenly, bang, 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 bang. Screaming. Not knocking, screaming. Profanities so loud the glass vibrated. My heart launched into my throat. For a split second, I genuinely thought someone was trying to break in. I looked toward the kitchen, and that's when I saw it. His face. I've never seen blood drain from someone's skin that fast. He went ghost white, like someone had just pronounced him dead. "Do not open that door," he said. That was the moment my stomach dropped. Because why would he say that? I walked toward the door anyway, and through the screaming, I recognized the voice. Rob. "What the hell is going on?" I shouted. My boyfriend looked at me, took his shirt off, and said, "Well, I guess this is happening now. I'm sorry." Sorry? Sorry for what? He opened the door, Rob didn't hesitate. He punched him square in the face and screamed, "How long have you been fucking my wife?" Everything went silent in my head. You know those moments in movies where the sound cuts out and it's just ringing? That. I dropped to my knees. I remembered the concrete biting into my skin. I looked at my boyfriend through tears. "Please tell me this isn't true." He didn't answer. That was my answer. Behind Rob stood B, my best friend, the woman I cried with, the woman I gave a key to my house. She looked exposed. Not ashamed, not sorry. Exposed. And something in me snapped. Rob and my boyfriend were now full-on fighting in the driveway. Neighbors were coming out onto porches, lights flicking on. Rob was screaming details. Apparently, B had confessed in marriage counseling. Marriage counseling, which meant it wasn't a mistake, it was ongoing. And then B had the audacity to try and step into my house to talk. I told her calmly, clearly, "If you step 1 foot into my house, I will remove you." She stared at me and stepped inside anyway. I don't remember deciding to punch her. I just remember my fist connecting with her face. It hurt. Badly. Turns out punching someone without gloves is not as glamorous as it looks in movies. But the sound? Cathartic. The cops were called. She tried to press charges. It didn't work. And that night, everything ended. My relationship, my friendship, my illusion. The days after felt like emotional whiplash. Memories started replaying differently. Like that night before B's wedding when she got drunk and kept crying, saying she was a horrible friend to me. I had held her face and said, "You're the best friend I've ever had." God. Or how they called each other big brother and little sister. Siblings don't flirt like that. Siblings don't disappear at the same time. Siblings don't avoid eye contact when you walk into a room. 2 weeks. That's all it took. 2 weeks after meeting. While we were cooking dinners together and building this fake family dynamic, they were already sleeping together. After the chaos settled, he tried to apologize. Said it was just physical. Said he didn't mean to hurt me. I stared at him like he was a stranger wearing my boyfriend's face. And then something clicked. He was always secretive with his phone. Always. Face down. Taken into the bathroom. Gym sessions that lasted hours. Motorcycle rides alone. Going shooting with the guys. What if this wasn't just B? What if this was a pattern? Petty me? Petty me wanted answers. And that's when I remembered something beautiful. His Wi-Fi password. He had set it up when he moved in, and I realized he reused passwords for everything. My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears. I logged into the social media platform he practically lived on. And what I found made B look like a warm-up act. There weren't 1 or 2 women. There weren't 5. There were over 40. 40. Ongoing conversations, intimate messages, photos, future plans. Different women, different cities, different timelines. Some were local, some were long distance. One lived 10 minutes away and thought she was his girlfriend. Her 18-year-old daughter was also in his messages. He hadn't slept with the daughter yet, but he was clearly trying. 6 women were in the I love you phase. 2 were expecting proposals. All of them thought they were the only one. Even B had no idea she was just one name in a rotation. I sat there for hours, scrolling, screenshotting. My hands were shaking, not from heartbreak anymore, from clarity. This man didn't cheat because he was confused. He cheated because he enjoyed control. He enjoyed being chosen over and over. He enjoyed women fighting for him. And suddenly, I wasn't devastated. I was furious. And when fury replaces heartbreak, that's when revenge becomes strategic. I didn't cry. That's the part that surprises people when I tell this story. You'd think after discovering your boyfriend was juggling over 40 women, you'd collapse. But no, something colder took over. The kind of calm that only comes when the illusion fully shatters. There's a strange power in knowing the truth. It's like someone hands you the script to the movie you've been living in, and suddenly you see every lie highlighted in neon. I sat at my kitchen table that night, laptop open, phone plugged in, screenshots stacking up, message threads, I love you exchanges, future baby names, plans for trips, promises of rings. The irony? Some of the messages overlapped. He'd send, "You're the only one I want," at 7:42 p.m. to one woman, and at 7:58 p.m. to another. Copy, paste, Casanova. I wasn't even angry at the women. That's what hit me hardest. They weren't my enemies. They were collateral damage, just like me. As I dug deeper, a disturbing pattern emerged. He targeted single moms, women fresh out of breakups, women who posted about finally finding happiness, women who liked gym culture, women who mentioned feeling unlucky in love. He wasn't just cheating. He was hunting vulnerability. That realization made my stomach turn, because that meant I wasn't special. I was strategic, and that hurt more than the betrayal. The woman who lived 10 minutes away from me, she thought she was exclusive. They had gym selfies together, inside jokes, morning texts. He called her baby. And the daughter. God, the daughter's messages made my skin crawl. He complimented her maturity, told her she was wise beyond her years. Subtle, grooming, creepy. He hadn't crossed that line physically yet, but he was testing it, and that was enough for me. I could have just walked away, blocked him, healed quietly, but something inside me refused, because if I stayed silent, he'd just replace me. He'd replace all of us and keep going. No consequences, no accountability, just another rotation. No, not this time. So I started organizing. Names, dates, locations, relationship status, screenshots. It felt like building a legal case. And in a way, it was. I drafted one master message. Clear, direct, no dramatics. Hi, you don't know me, but we have something in common. We've both been in a relationship with his name. I just discovered he has been involved with over 40 women simultaneously, including myself. I thought you deserved the truth. Attached are screenshots and dates. I'm not angry at you. I was lied to as well. I attached photos of us together, the time-stamped "I'm going to marry her" message he sent to his uncle, overlapping love messages, conversations with other women with names blurred. Then I copied, pasted, sent. One by one, 40+ detonations. And then I waited. My phone buzzed within 5 minutes. Then again, and again, and again. The first response was simple. Is this a joke? The second, I'm shaking. The third, I knew something felt off. Then came the heartbreakers. I just introduced him to my kids. He told me he was his future wife. I sent him money for his motorcycle. One woman had bought him custom gym equipment. Another had flown across state lines twice to see him. They all thought they were chosen. We started comparing timelines, and that's when it turned from tragic to almost absurd. He had scheduled us like gym sessions. Monday, woman A. Tuesday, woman B. Wednesday, motorcycle ride. Thursday, B. Weekend, whoever was emotionally neediest. He wasn't just a cheater, he was running a franchise. One of the women suggested creating a group chat. I hesitated, then joined, and that's when the real-time unraveling began. Screenshots flooded in, voice notes, receipts, matching phrases, matching emojis, matching pet names. He called almost all of us Sunshine. Original, right? We started laughing. Dark humor, the kind you use when you're too shocked to process the pain. And then someone posted, "He's blowing up my phone." That's when it hit him. About 3 hours after the messages went out, my phone rang. It was him. I didn't answer. He texted instead. "What the hell did you do?" I stared at the screen, and I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Control. I typed, "Karma's a bitch, isn't it?" Sent. No paragraphs, no explanations, just truth. Then the group chat lit up. "He's calling me too. He's saying you're crazy. He's saying you hacked him." He was spiraling, desperate damage control. But here's the thing about lies. When 40 people compare notes, they collapse. By morning, he had deactivated his social media, changed his number, blocked multiple women, sent long apology paragraphs to a few, denied everything to others. Too late. The screenshots existed, and some of the women weren't quiet about it. One posted vague "beware of this man" stories. Another tagged him directly before he deleted everything. He couldn't outrun it. And the best part? Bia had no idea she was just number 17 on the roster. When she found out, apparently that didn't go well either. I heard through mutual neighbors that Rob and Bia's marriage imploded completely after the exposure details came out. Because cheating with one person is one thing. Finding out your affair partner had 39 others? Humbling. People think revenge feels explosive. It doesn't. It feels quiet, like a weight lifting off your chest. For the first time, I didn't feel stupid. I didn't feel small. I felt informed and powerful. Because I didn't scream, I didn't beg, I didn't destroy property. I told the truth. And truth is the most devastating weapon when someone builds their life on lies. You'd think that would be the end. It wasn't. Over the next few years, I had to block him 3 separate times. He'd find my number, new accounts, different platforms. 5 years later, 5, I get a text. "I've been thinking about you. You're the one that got away." I laughed out loud. The audacity never left him. He didn't miss me. He missed access. That's the difference. And that's something I didn't understand in my early 30s, but I do now. I learned that charm without consistency is manipulation. I learned that secretive behavior is never random. I learned that women are often conditioned to compete with each other when the real villain is the man playing both sides. And I learned that silence protects predators. Exposure protects everyone else. The most satisfying moment wasn't his panic text, wasn't the group chat laughter. It was reading one message from a woman who said, "Thank you. I was about to move in with him next month." That's when I knew. This wasn't petty. This was preventative. And that made it worth it. Karma doesn't always show up with fireworks. Sometimes it looks like screenshots. Sometimes it looks like women comparing notes. And sometimes it looks like a man realizing his double life just collapsed in 3 hours. If this story gave you that deep, satisfying sense of justice, hit that like button. And tell me in the comments, would you have exposed him or walked away quietly? And of course, subscribe for more stories where karma clocks in right on time. Because trust me, some lies deserve daylight.